Hello and welcome. My name is Adam Mayer. I'm the Director of Career and Academic Programming in University College. Today we'll look at career services for the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies program. So our overview is here. We'll look at what's available. Career advising. This is a one-on-one appointment service. It can be either face-to-face or virtual. We can look at effective job search strategies. We can look at career change strategies. We can look at salary negotiations. We can do mock interviewing, which we'll look at in a little bit. There's lots of stuff we can cover, and we encourage you to make an appointment to see all that's available through that service. We do offer as well employer connections. These are typically achieved through the two items there. One is career fairs. The other is info sessions, and those tend to be both virtual and face-to-face in terms of the info sessions. This is where employers want to get more of a foothold and presence with regard to campus constituents. Handshake this is very important. Handshake is your career management system here at Montclair State University. That's how you'll schedule an appointment for career services. That's how you'll get feedback for your resume. You'll upload your resume to Handshake. It comes to me. I'll review it and provide you with feedback on both the format and the content. There are job postings in Handshake, of course, full-time, part-time internships. And I mentioned earlier, mock interviewing. That's a great way. If you set up an appointment, the appointment can focus on the future of job interviewing if that's the case. And then finally, things to consider, some suggestions on do's and don'ts, and some next steps. So a little bit deeper with what's available, the one-on-one career advising. So in terms of effective job search instruction, we'll look at what's called an ATS. That's an applicant tracking system. Typically, mid-size and larger companies use ATSs because it just does the work of 4 individuals. It collects, tabulates, and ranks individuals' resumes, and through that parsing process, the resumes eventually make it to a human reader. But if you're interested in learning more about that, how to sort of pass through these tracking systems and make it to a human reader, we can discuss formatting options. We can look at some of the individual ATSs themselves and see what is likely to pass through and help us get to the next step. Of course, we have suggestions on networking, who to network with, how to do that. LinkedIn is all the rage still. It is considered the greatest portion of your internet footprint with regard to the job search. So profile creation and use, let's just be clear, LinkedIn is not just a job posting board. It's much, much more than that. And we can unpack that during an appointment. Mock interviewing practice. Typically, what I ask is that if you're applying for a job, you send me the link for the position description, and then I'll develop questions based on that position. So the mock interview will be pointed and specific based on your needs in terms of your job search. Resume, cover letter construction. Again, we can always help with format, content, just getting another pair of eyes on those documents. We can discuss career change strategies. So assessing yourself, seeing what skills you have, and then looking at the employment market and determining a direction. Mentioned 2, salary negotiations. We can help you with resources to research and methods with regard to what to say during salary negotiations to make the process that much easier to achieve. Employer connections, in terms of the career fairs, I mentioned they're held each semester. So for the fall, that is early October. It typically is in the afternoon from 1 to 4 in University Hall. That's the 7th floor. And in the spring, same story in terms of 1 to 4 University Hall, but that occurs in the spring in mid-March. We typically see anywhere from 55 to 65 employers at each event. It's a great time to network with employers and get business cards. And again, if it matches your schedule, we'd love to see you. Information sessions, learn more about employers and their opportunities. Again, these are the employers who seek MSU graduates and they'd like to hire MSU students. and then, of course, the networking opportunities that go along with it. So a little bit more on Handshake. Again, this is your career management system. How do you get in there? The QR code on the right, you can always log in there, or you can log into Nest. And on the left-hand side, it will say Career Services. Click on Career Services, and then you'll see Handshake, and you can log in there. You can also log in through our website, montclair.edu/career services, and then you'll see a link that outlines Handshake there. It's your MSU NetID and password, just as is everything else. We do suggest that you get in there just to see what's going on in terms of Handshake and all that it offers. We can see that you can find and apply for jobs that match your program of study and interests. We indicated before you can upload your resume in Handshake and submit it for a critique. You can RSVP for employer info sessions, career fairs, webinars, workshops. Because you can look for employers in Handshake, vice versa is also possible. So employers can check out your profile. So we recommend completing your profile fully. This way you stand out through a customized platform there through Handshake. You can also sharpen your interview skills by scheduling an appointment for a mock interview. So how do you make an appointment in Handshake? Again, on the right-hand side, if you want to log in using that QR code, this is a screenshot of a student-based account in Handshake. You'll see on the left, it says appointments. Click on that. And then beneath that, on the next page, once you get there, it'll say schedule a new appointment. Click on that. And then you'll see these options on the left. You want to scroll down and choose university college. On the bottom, incidentally, you could see that each college and school at Montclair State has their own career services area. So you get unique and specific advice based on the degrees that you pursue and the employers who are interested in hiring those who have those degrees. And once you've clicked on University College, then you want to choose University College BLS Career Services. You can see that highlighted on the right. Then you'll begin to see what's available in terms of time, days to make the appointment. It'll be sent to me. I'll have that held on my calendar, and you'll get a reminder 24 hours in advance of the appointment, and then 1 hour in advance of the appointment, each of which will include directions for the appointment. If it's virtual, we'll do that appointment through Zoom, and the details will be provided rather in the confirmation. So some things to consider, generally speaking, for the job search, for your professional development, for your future careers, or the career that you're currently in and you want to continue in. So in terms of LinkedIn, you do want to customize your LinkedIn profile address. With that, it's a free option in the free version of LinkedIn. On the right-hand side, it'll say customize public profile and URL. Once you click on that, you'll see your address for LinkedIn, and it'll be a lot of letters and numbers. It's not branded, so you click on the blue pencil. It'll allow you to amend the address and do something similar to maybe your email address, something that includes your name, something that's professional. And then once you do that, copy and paste your public profile address, put it in your email signature. This way, anybody who communicates with you, number one, they know you're on LinkedIn. And number two, it suggests that you're open to networking. Lots of options there. So email signature, resume, cover letter, any social media platforms you have that are professional, LinkedIn profile address can be included there as well. Other things we do want to do, seek free professional development. LinkedIn Learning is one of the resources there, and they have different courses along with Coursera, where it could be time management, it could be leadership, whatever the subject is. There's materials to help you prepare, and then eventually you take a quiz, and then you can get involved in promoting your digital badging, where you've passed these courses and you can add them to your LinkedIn profile. Other things we do want to do is understand the ins and outs of applicant tracking systems. I mentioned that's something we could look at in a career advising appointment. They're tricky. It's likely that you're going to come up against one. Again, if you're applying to a mid or a large size company, they typically use those again to collect resumes and rank them. You do want to use what's called JobScan, and that's not a typo. It's JOBSCAN.co. There's no M. This allows job seekers to run their resume through an ATS environment before applying. So it really gives you an understanding of how your resume looks on the other side. It'll generate a report on hard, soft skill matches or misses between your resume and the job description. Things not to do in the don't column there on the right. Don't forget to send a thank you note after your job interview. Even if you're not interested in the position, you still want to follow up with them and thank them for your time. Thank them for their time, rather. When networking, don't ask for a job. Basically, with networking, you want to cultivate your network, cultivate your references, and keep them in the loop with regard to your job search. So asking for a job while you're initially starting a relationship with someone is unsophisticated and typically isn't well received. Other things not to do, don't dismiss the value of information interviews. This is basically a casual conversation between you and somebody who's in a field, an industry, or working for an employer that you're interested in, and they're comfortable, sharing their experience with you. 10 or 15 minutes. It could be over coffee. It could be virtually, however it goes. But people do not use information interviews enough. It's a sorely missed job search technique that can reveal quite a bit. And then finally, things that you don't want to do. Don't be caught without an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is a brief, insightful sort of conversation of the best things that you can bring to the table when communicating with people. So whether it's a hiring employer or a community member or somebody that you come across who has like-minded interests, your elevator pitch is a great way to briefly share what it is that you can bring to the table. So finally, things to consider in terms of next steps. You can schedule a career advising appointment with me through Handshake. And in that time, we recommend that you upload your resume. This way you can get feedback and approval for that document. That concludes our overview of career services for students in the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies program. We wish you all the best of luck, and absolutely do take advantage of career services here at Montclair State University.